Hey everyone, and welcome to Nerfcast.
Yay!
Who was that?
That's Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Hi, Shawn.
Gave away the ending.
Oh.
Tom dies at the end.
Ah!
I don't even think that's the name of that book. It's like...
Uncle Tom's Cabin?
No, that's the name of that book.
Does Tom die at the end?
That's for our readers to not find out because this is a podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's good. We don't have any readers.
That got depressing really quickly. Anywho, sorry if Josh and I seem a little bit tired. This weekend there was a convention over by where we live called Fanime.
Fanime Con.
Yep, it's basically a fan-run anime event that happens every year in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's down over in the South Bay towards San Jose. It's a 4-day convention. It's 24 hours. It is exhausting, to say the least.
Yes.
Thousands of people in cosplay just all sandwiched together watching anime, playing games. It's 24 hours, so you can go out there at 3 in the morning, and the con was still packed.
Yeah.
3 a.m.
Night long.
I know you want to sing it.
No.
Dun,
No.
dun, dun, dun.
All night long.
Oh.
All night.
Boom,
No.
boom. I'm the funky bass. I won't drop it. Yeah, so we're kind of exhausted from that. We saw a lot of cool costumes, a lot of cool cosplay. There were a couple cosplays involving Nerf blasters, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yep.
I was going to go as Hawkeye, but I was told that they don't like bows with moving parts, and I wanted to bring a Zing bow. So that idea kind of got shot down. Wasn't even planning that one.
Yep. They're weird. I mean, last year I went as a sniper from TF2, and I had a long strike, and they were like, you can't have those Nerf darts on your costume, because I had them instead of the bullets. If you guys don't play Team Fortress 2, and you haven't seen the sniper's costume, he has bullets because he's a sniper. And they were like, no, you could shoot them out of this Nerf gun you've got here. But I didn't have any magazines, and I was trying to explain to them. They were like, no, you can't do it. So they definitely wouldn't have let you carry the ammo for the Zing bow.
Yeah.
Even though, there were like people with real bows and arrows there.
That's what tripped me out, because one could actually hurt someone. The Zing bow doesn't really hurt. So it's one of those things where it's kind of an arbitrary decision, but whatever. The con overall, really fun, great people there. The line took forever. I was in line for 3.5 hours just to get my tickets, and I pre-registered. That's how long it takes if you plan ahead.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Yeah, but anywho, let's go back to the main subject of today. And by go back, I mean we haven't even discussed it yet, but today we're going to kind of take a look at all the stuff that's been going on globally with Nerf. And by globally, I guess I should clarify on that. There have been a lot of launches and releases going on in different areas of the globe that we feel merit a little bit more analysis for the general populace, and just some ideas of why we think Hasbro is making some of the decisions they are. Now, the good news is, usually if I'm talking about Hasbro, I tend to complain a lot and think they're doing bad decisions. This is Josh and me trying to use logic and reason to figure out what they're doing, and maybe they have a smart idea behind why they're doing what they do.
We're making it up as we go along.
And the points don't matter.
Yeah!
That show's coming back.
Woohoo!
On the CW. Without Drew Carey.
Oh.
But with Colin Mockery, Ryan Stiles,
Yeah.
and Wayne Brady.
Yeah.
That's the important one.
Wayne Brady.
So, Josh, you want to recap some of the latest news that came out this week?
Yeah, the Rapid Strike was actually, I don't know if we can say officially released, but is on store shelves in the Philippines. Yeah, so that happened. Guess we'll see more Rapid Strike stuff.
What's a Rapid Strike?
I don't know. What is a Rapid Strike?
It is a blaster that is similar. I was actually just messing with you. I was hoping he would actually answer, but for anyone who's listening, I guess I'll explain it too. It's the full auto version of the Strife. It's a little bit bigger, a little bit bulkier. It runs on 4C batteries.
4C batteries.
4C batteries.
Yes. 4C. C4.
There
K9.
are 5 lights.
Meh.
He just hit Picard. It made the Romulan sound like a dying giraffe. Anywho, so that's what the Rapid Strike is. It's a blaster that I still think hasn't officially been acknowledged by Nerf.
I feel like we've talked about this before.
We've talked about it many times. It hasn't been officially acknowledged by Nerf.
If you don't know what the Rapid Strike is, go back and listen to the rest of our podcasts.
Give us more views.
There we go.
Please rate, comment, subscribe if you don't know what we're talking about.
Exactly.
That's going to be my catchphrase.
Rate, comment, subscribe.
But yeah, so it's a blaster. It's not officially acknowledged by Nerf. We've talked about it in the past, but I feel like at some point it would have been referenced before it actually hit store shelves. It's one thing if there's leaks going on in China near the factories or Taiwan or wherever they're happening. There's going to be an Asian listener who just hates me right now for not getting that right. But somewhere out in Asia Pac, they have factories to make these things, so it makes sense that they'd get leaked out to some of the workers at the factories, and that's how they get out to the populace. That's kind of something that always happens, but the fact that it's actually on store shelves in a region that is kind of more remote than what you would see locally near factories, that's what kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, Philippines. I believe that's what we said, or what was reported.
The Philippines are an island.
Not China.
Yeah.
Not Hong Kong, Taiwan. Just for the people that don't know, Philippines, not there in China.
I guess that's obvious to me, but
I mean, it's not like they just walked out of the factory and they're like, "Hey, let's just put these on store shelves." Like they shipped them to the Philippines.
This is Hasbro making a decision to send blasters to a market, which we will go a little bit more in depth later. I have a theory. I was telling Josh about this.
A hypothesis, if you will.
Originally, we were going to talk about anime the whole time, which also sounded fun. We might do that again later, but
yep.
I was having conversations with people, and I'm like, I got an idea. So it's released over there.
And it's released there. Nerf, while we were at the con on Saturday, I believe, had this really cool looking teaser that they put up on the Nerf Nation Facebook page that was all red and said something to the effect of coming soon or preview in the next few days. And they just officially announced I have air quotes
yeah.
right here, officially announced the Mega Centurion, which it's weird because I actually didn't watch the video because I was at work today, and then we just had to come and record the podcast. But they linked to some video reviews.
It was on Popular Science.
Yes,
they got apparently a preview of the blaster. I'll let you keep going, Josh.
I mean it seems like they're actually acknowledging this, which is just odd to me that they would say, "Hey, this is a thing," but the Rapid Strike, not even going to mention that, but it released.
Mm-hmm.
Still no word on when it's coming out here. There was already a release date.
Is.
Oh, is there a release date for us in the U.S.?
Yeah, it's in the Popular Science article.
Oh, yeah, I was at work.
Yeah, sorry. I was at work too. I'm not productive. So the Popular Science article said that it was hitting closer to the 80-foot mark than the previous ranges that were tested out by Baidu.
Mm-hmm.
And so better performance, according to them. But here's the thing that has me kind of critical of it. I mean, freaking in the community we as Nerfers live in, it's very much what you see on message boards, on Reddit, on forums like Nerf Haven and stuff.
Right.
That people are measuring distance and being very accurate and scientific about it. On Popular Science, they mentioned how long the blaster is. It's a huge blaster. And they said it has long barreling, which is supposed to help the trajectory of the bullet and make it go further. Which works for real guns. It doesn't work for Nerf guns. So honestly, obviously they're looking at it and thinking that's why the barrel's so long and not realizing it's purely an aesthetic thing. So there's a chance they weren't super in-depth with their measurements. They probably didn't shoot off 8 rounds and take a mean of all of them. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just happy to see it in someone else's hands that seems in a more official capacity. And it shows some forethought on Hasbro's part, too, because they wanted to announce the Centurion on this day, and they had a blog article on a popular blog same day out with it. So clearly they sent it over to this company, tested it out, and say, okay, on, May 28th, you can go ahead and publish the article, which is odd that it's a Tuesday, by the way.
Yeah, I feel like they had thought about making it Monday and then, I don't know, realized it was a holiday in the U.S.?
I guess. I mean, I would imagine that they probably... The article was up this morning, so I would figure they tested this out last week and then posted the article, but maybe no one was in the office to post it that day. Who knows?
Yeah,
I figure that'd be a good
I see, though they got velocity on here. I'm looking at it right now, finally, for the first time. But what are we getting as far as they have a release date? I did not see this.
Sorry, it's a fall. It's in fall.
That's not a date. I feel I've been lied to. I didn't think they had a date.
Yeah, there's not a hard release date, but they're saying fall 2013, which is this year. It is towards the end of summer, which I think I've talked about this many times. My projected release date for it is going to be midsummer, so sometime in August or July. You will see them on shelves in Toys R Us because Toys R Us is notorious for breaking street date on Nerf blasters. They have done this in the past a couple of times. Target's better about it. Like, for example, the whole Alpha Trooper thing that happened recently. We have a contest going on, by the way. I just wanted to bring that up again. Get us to 100 likes on Facebook. Send us an email that says Alpha Trooper Contest as the subject line and tell us what you like about the Nerfcast, and you are entering for a chance to win an Alpha Trooper. Going back on subject, sorry to plug ourselves real quick there. Going back on subject, we noticed that the blasters came out about a week before time. Target usually is about a week or two ahead of when the actual release is. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's usually pushed forward when Toys R Us is like a month early and Target's trying to be good. But it's like, come on, they're kind of killing us in sales right now.
Right.
They have the blasters, they have them early, and it's even harder because usually Toys R Us is charging more for the blasters too. Target has a lower price, and they have to wait longer, so it's like maybe people will hold out and wait for the better prices.
Right. Kind
of doubt it.
Yeah, it's exactly... when me and Shawn have talked about this before, I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast, but this is why we have mentioned like the mega quote-unquote line and being worried about it versus the Elite line, etc., just because this is exactly what they did with the Elite line. Look at... Here's a blaster. It's coming out in fall. Well, it's going to come out probably, a month, maybe more beforehand. Pretty much what we had at the end of the season last year. Again, air quotes, because we just sort of have a season that's, once it starts getting too windy for darts to fly or too wet or cold that people aren't going to really be showing up, we just, we're done. We don't have any place to really play indoors too much. Although there are a few now that have popped up here in the Bay Area. But for us... For the games that we run, our seasons pretty much end when you get to the end of summer and into fall. So, same thing here. I mean, is that what we're looking at? The release of... Because the Rebel line is also supposed to be in the fall.
Yeah, so let's take stock real quick. That's an excellent point, Josh. So you have the Rebel line in fall, Centurion in fall. Should we believe that the new Zombie Strike stuff coming out is going to be fall as well?
I mean, right now, all that we've seen are repaints of blasters that are in the Rebel series, so why not? I mean, why would you even release one and then wait to release the other? You might as well just give you both color variations at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, I would just figure it'd make more sense to spread it out a little bit and keep... Basically, if you're saying here are 3 really awesome blasters, someone only has money to buy one... They're only going to buy one. If you spread it out longer, then people will save up and buy the new blasters as they come out.
It's true. I mean, it's dependent upon a couple of things. It's if the Zombie Strike line is going to have different blasters specifically for that line, or if it's just going to completely be repaints of the Rebel line. Because if it's just going to be repaints of the Rebel line, I feel like they would package them together and just ship them to stores, because you have to, again, realize the target demographic is not us. And boys if they want the same thing that the girls want and they don't want it in pink, you can go and get it at the same time before Christmas. Whereas us, of course, we're going to be like, well, yeah, we'll buy it, and then we'll buy it again in another color because we have money and jobs, and they're only $20.
I have 6 different colored Zing bows. Just throwing that out there right now. You gave me the option to get different colors Zing. I bought them all.
That's what I'm saying.
So, yeah, that's an excellent point, Josh, right there, that if there are multiple colors coming out at the same time, I'll be motivated to buy more.
And it wouldn't surprise me that Nerf, like you said, we're bringing that out, bring in Rebel, potentially the Zombie Strike. Centurion has already been announced. Rapid Strike is already in markets, so foreseeably, why would they not be bringing that out either this summer or in the fall with everything else that they're bringing out?
And I have a theory.
It's a theory.
It's a theory.
And that's not even to say anything about this mysterious Nerf javelin.
That is on websites, similar to how the Rapid Strike was really kind of revealed to the world. It was just on a foreign site. I think it was that same shops.ch website.
Yeah, there was a listing for it, no picture, not much of a description, if I remember correctly. And I think that's what we've had with that. The only reason I point that out is because when Nerf did the little preview on their Facebook page, and I believe My Last Dart pointed this out, one of their replies was, "Oh, cool, this is something for the Javelin," and Nerf specifically tagged that person and said, like, "Oh, you'll have to wait and see." Now, of course, I'm sure that's Hasbro and Nerf being mysterious, but they chose that, and they chose lots of comments to reply to and say, "Oh, it's going to be exciting, yada yada, etc., etc." But if they were going to try to dispel the Javelin, rumors, they could easily shoot it down right there and say, like, "Oh, there is no blaster that's going by that name," or something like that. And we as a community would probably still be skeptical of it, but at least there would be a quote-unquote official stance. The fact that they were like, "Oh, you'll have to wait and see," is kind of like, well, so you're doing it then. More Mega Blasters, and we don't know what they're going to look like. Ergo, us worried about Mega Line potentially being the new push.
Yeah, and honestly in my head, like going into this, if it's Mega, to me, that seems like it would imply it's using the same ammo. A part of me is almost wondering with the Javelin, I mean, that's just a big-sounding name. So I imagine maybe, are they doing large ammo but in a different capacity, like a missile? Just to go with the whole, Mega isn't a type of ammo specifically, it's a genre type. It's right. Always going to be a bigger version of what you'd normally expect on stuff you've seen Nerf do in the past.
Yeah, I think someone on, was it Reddit?
It's probably Reddit.
I don't remember where I saw this, but somebody was speculating, what if it's just a better version of a Titan?
Yeah, because that's what I was just imagining right now.
Which, if you are in the community thinking about singling stuff, that's potentially frightening, but the idea that you could use ammo that is like Titan ammo or larger and actually maybe get the higher velocity and higher or more range out of it could be really fun.
It could be.
I mean, that's like why we've had Zingbows be so predominant suddenly. People are really enjoying just getting stuff out there, and it's large ammo you can feel when you've been tagged. So, a lot of sort of rumors and speculation and announcements and things that have happened this week. Oh, the other bow that they have.
Heartbreaker bow?
Is it the Heartbreaker bow?
The big bad bow?
It's the one that they announced when they announced the Rebel line. They also announced a bow, but it had like yellow flames on it.
The Blazing Bow.
There it is, Blazing Bow. Yeah. So that's also potentially coming out this fall, supposedly. Sorry, just that popped on my head. So, stuff.
There's a lot of stuff happening. It seems like a lot of stuff is kind of gravitating.
Gravitron.
I said right the first time, actually.
Yes,
Why
you did.
I correct myself?
I don't know.
I was like, you're going to screw it up, Shawn. God, this is just like Mother always said, you can never succeed in life. No, she said the opposite always. I have a good mother. She's a good mommy. She lets me drink all the milk I want.
I like milk.
The last time I was drinking alcohol, I started drinking milk afterwards, and she was like, you shouldn't drink so much milk, it's bad for you. Like, I just did like 3 shots, Mom. And the milk is going to be bad for me.
Yep.
Child-friendly podcast. Anywho. So something I was actually talking about earlier today with My Last Start a little bit, and I'm just going to repeat it all to you guys, is I've been trying to break down, because Hasbro's a big company, and I make a lot of assumptions where I think they're making bad decisions. So today I was trying to rationalize what they're doing and trying to come down to a methodology. So here is what I'm going to suggest to you, the audience. Feel free to comment back and let me know if you think I'm right or wrong, where I think I might be misstepping and stuff like that. But here's what kind of makes sense in my head. So if you've seen throughout the past year and a half or so, there's kind of a standard cycle that really kind of happens with some of these blasters. For example, the Elite series was done slightly differently, but basically you have leaked ideas of these new blasters coming out, followed by an official announcement, a release date, or a release period for Josh, because technically fall isn't a release date. But a release period when they're supposed to come out, it usually starts leaking out in Asia Pac early. You see some of the blasters go to Europe, and then they end up in the U.S. Now, here's my line of reasoning on why that happens. Initially, I just thought the leaks were coming out in Asia Pac first because that's where the factories are. Instead, what I'm thinking is certain things like the pinpoint sights, some of the other blasters that are still very new, it could be a test market. And I don't mean like a commerce test market. I mean like a physical test market. And here's what kind of makes sense about that. If you look at the Strife, when it came out, there was a dart sensor on the Strife that is used to sense when a dart is in there. R&D, when they tested it, they probably said, hey, it works fine. People are going to be firing at this rate. This is what we think is going to work. They release it. Everyone uses it. Everyone hates it. People are opening up their blasters to get rid of it. They're taping them down so they don't interfere with the bullets. And overall, that was like the one gripe people had about the blaster. But on a very quick level, much quicker than I was expecting, they released a new version of the blaster where the box and everything's exactly the same, but they modified the dart sensor to actually work differently so it's less of a problem. You can use these stock and not really run into the same problems. I think they even modified it a third time, but I'm not really sure about that. But there's at least one switch up where, based on the feedback people were giving in the community about what was wrong with it, they fixed it.
And it was on the fly. It wasn't like, I mean, we know how long the Strife has been out, so it wasn't months and months and months. It was very quickly after the release. You could find them out there, and that's a quick turnaround time to redesign a locking mechanism or a sensor in the blaster. And I mean, it was not a huge thing that they had to mechanically go in and add a ton of different parts, but still, good on Hasbro.
That was great on Hasbro's part. Like, honestly, it was very unexpected. You see this in like a 2-3 month turnaround time, or realistically, around the time the blaster was supposed to be released, they fixed it.
Pretty much, yeah.
So here's what I'm suggesting to you, the audience. And once again, feel free to argue me in the comments. Not that I'm saying I'm right, but I would love some feedback on this theory.
Other theories.
Yes.
Give us those too.
Is that basically Hasbro is releasing or leaking these blasters in local smaller markets in Asia Pac because they're close by. They're not nearly as vocal about complaints, but you can see things popping up. So if you say release a Centurion out in Singapore first, or a Rapid Strike over in the Philippines first, people are going to buy it. It's easy to ship out there. If there are huge problems, they'll be known, but it's not going to tarnish the reputation of your company because there aren't a lot of major blogs out there. Like, obviously, there's over in Australia, you have Pocket doing his blog.
Well, Singapore has SG Nerf.
SG Nerf has his blog. I was going to get to that.
Oh, okay. I don't know any blogs in the Philippines, but I'm sure there's some.
There might be some, but there are a couple people out there. Notably, this isn't out in Australia yet, by the way.
Yes.
But you have people who can test these blasters, find the mechanical errors. It's nice because it's a limited release. It's much smaller because there's less disposable income out there. So people who are buying it are enthusiasts who are going to run them raw, run them rough, and let you know what's wrong with it. After that, you move to another market. Now, I have a couple theories on this. You move it to another market with higher disposable income where you can gauge interest in the blaster. So once you work out all the kinks, you release it over in Europe. You bring it over to Europe like the Stockade.
Right.
The Stockade still hasn't been released in the U.S.
Yep.
Now, if you really think about this, I'll let Josh explain this part because we talked about this a little bit too, and he brought up this point.
Oh, with the people still wanting the Stockade? I mean, it's just, to me, once the Stockade hit, everyone was like, cool, this is the elite version of the Barricade, and we're going to do exactly what we do with the Barricade is make what inevitably became the Strife, add the clip mod onto it. And when the Strife came out, it seems like that was reviewed so much better as, oh, this is a much superior blaster, blah, 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 blah. This is exactly what we've wanted with a flywheel system that also is a clip system blaster. And we just never got it here. The only reason I think I've heard people really in the States say that they want a Stockade is for the stock or the accessories that came with it, which we've obviously talked about before. But other than that, I don't see people just on, oh, yeah, I've got to get this blaster. How come it's not here yet? I'm going to order one from overseas. So it almost seems like they tested it, and then people were like, it's not that good. And then they already had the idea to bring out the strife anyway, and it's what people had wanted, so they were just like, well, let's not even bother.
Exactly. What it breaks down to is it was ran in Europe. They gauged how well it sold. It didn't sell to expectations, so they were like, why even produce to a level necessary to stock all the Targets and Kmarts and Toys R Us's over in the U.S. when it's not going to sell? These big companies, usually what happens, like I mentioned, when you go to Target, it's cheaper than Toys R Us. That's because usually with big box stores, superstores, they buy in bulk. They buy such huge orders, they can usually get discounts on the price, and the savings are passed on to the consumer. The lower prices are used as a draw to bring you into the store, because you're going to go to the grocery shop, you're going to do whatever, and you'll just buy stuff while you're there.
Yeah.
Toys R Us is a specialty shop. That's why they're more expensive. It's not their fault. It's just not everyone. It's a destination store.
Yeah, they don't hate all of us and want to charge us $5 more per blaster.
No, and it's not that they think they can get away with it. It's just a matter of if I'm buying milk and there's a cheaper Nerf blaster right next to me, I'll pick that up instead of going over to Toys R Us specifically.
Yeah, save money and time and gas prices.
But back on point, you are also doing huge orders with Target and Toys R Us. If you're going overseas to Europe, I mean, clearly I'm not familiar with the market. My last start could probably correct me on this, but I think it's a lot less big box superstore designed. It's usually just more retailers that have chains and are very common and very big, I'm sure, but not nearly to the scale of like a Walmart or a Target. They're buying in bulk. They have huge orders, and unless Hasbro can justify making a profit off of those orders, they aren't going to want to ship them out. So when you look at the Stockade and how it performed over in Europe, yeah, people were happy about it. But now that there's a strife, I bet you they're not even selling anymore.
Wouldn't surprise me.
You'd have to discount them really low. You have to hope kids are the ones picking them up. But a strife, it's simpler, it's easier, it looks nicer. It's what the community wants ultimately. So going back to the chain idea is basically that a blaster is tested in Asia Pac mechanically. Once all the kinks are worked out, sent over to Europe to see how well it'll sell. Then you get to the third destination, the U.S., where everyone will just buy up the finished product. And the one thing about that, there's a second theory I have at the same time, too, that's less appealing. But, Josh, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it sort of fits. There are some things that, you could make arguments for with, like, the pinpoint sights, for example. Clearly, those have performed well in all markets, and there's nothing that's really mechanical about them. So they're just accessories, and again, selling them, don't see why they wouldn't do it here or brought them to the U.S. But, it could be something that Hasbro is doing. It's interesting. I could see why they would want to have a really clean and finished product in the U.S. When we were talking to my last Dart, he had told us that the U.S. Nerf market was down compared to, overseas. Just most all the other markets were up, and their, home country was consuming less of their product than everyone else. So I could see them really wanting to create hype for those of us who are in the Nerf community by releasing them elsewhere anyway. Places that are consuming more and are going to buy them and test them out. And then when they ship them over here, have a really good product. People like us that have wanted to get them are finally going to be able to get our hands on things. And then when kids get them, they're going to perform better. And they're going to have less snags or any issues to recall things or anything like that. Makes sense. Could be.
Yeah. So my second theory, which is less appealing to me as an American.
Wait, is this the theory where there's a map on the wall at Hasbro and they throw darts? And because China's really big, they hit it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's actually... You know what? Roll the music again? No, we're not doing that bit again. That's the end of the podcast. No. So, I like that theory better than what I'm about to say. So,
how does Australia get anything? They're like, yeah, there's that one guy who's just aiming for it.
Pocket's just saying, they're like, oh. There's going to be a picture of him just holding a giant target and looking sad in front of like a Hasbro building or
Ladies and gentlemen, the library will be closing in 1 hour at 8 o'clock. The second floor restrooms will be locked in 30 minutes. Thank you.
Toys Aussie Us.
Nice.
Because it's like our us, but it's Australian.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but the other theory I have is, let's face it, the U.S. is a world power. We are the biggest there is. We are losing that position, though. There are emerging markets popping up all around the world. We're becoming a globalized economy. It is easier to buy, sell, trade all across the globe. So one of the biggest emerging markets right now is Asia Pac. It's growing. There's money there. There's jobs there. It's growing magnificently. So, of course, disposable income is going to be rising there, too. So Hasbro might be saying, hey, it's close by. We make our factories there. It's cheaper to ship there. We can charge more just because generally things are more in this country anyway. So the consumers are used to it. Mm-hmm. They have a threshold price, and it's higher than what the Americans are willing to pay. Why not just release the blasters there first?
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense as well. It's just the whole thing with new markets that they can branch into, and it's not even really a new market, but the fact that there's just money there, and why would you ship to someone if the US is consuming less as far as Hasbro is concerned? Yeah, they want to make that number go up, of course, but their priority would be, hey, these guys are consuming more. They're buying these, maybe even at a higher price. Of course, we have to ship there first, make sure that everything is working great, that they get their stuff, and then try to push things in the U.S.
Now, once again, going over to Europe, or even some of these other places too, like South America, I guess Africa has a growing market too for Nerf.
Yeah.
These are communities where, I can't speak for all the other ones, but in Europe, a lot of the people I talk to just say that there's a lot of strict gun laws. Even stuff like airsoft is a little bit trickier to get your hands on. I mean, especially in Asia Pac, that's true too. That's why it's so big there, because you can't use real guns, you can't use airsoft guns. So Nerf blasters are a natural choice. Same over in the UK. It's a market where Nerf seems like it would fit very well with a lot of the laws over there. Yeah. U.S., we have guns, we have airsoft. There's so many other options you can go with. We have great infrastructure for playing online gaming throughout this nation that it's very easy just to sit down and say, I'm going to play a game instead of go out and buy these blasters, because we have so many choices we can go with other than Nerf.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's why a lot of people, not to divert this too far off topic, but the tech recon stuff, people have been excited about. And for me, I've been, it looks really cool. It looks like a lot of fun. Would I ever use it at our Nerf wars? Probably not, because the tiny ammo would get lost in bushes and things and would be really hard to pick up. But if just had a small group of people doing some indoor wars, it would be fun. I want to order one just for the app.
Well, the thing is, the app is going to be free. I'm going to plug Tech Recon right now. They have a Kickstarter going. There's, I think, 2 weeks left. It might be less than that. They're really close to their goal. I personally think it's really cool. Mm-hmm. I understand Josh's complaints too. Or critiques, not complaints.
Yeah.
His critiques, because most of our players feel the same way. I think I'm the main guy who's really excited about it. Just because from an ammo perspective, it will get lost easier. There's no doubt about that. Mm-hmm. The performance looks like it's going to be pretty good, just based on some of the shots and testing I've seen from the Kickstarter. And the ammo is it's 75. It's something like 75 or 50 rounds for $5.
Oh no, yeah, that's what I like, is that the ammo is cheap. Don't get me wrong, I think it could be really fun. I just think
the main appeal is the app.
For me, the main appeal is the app. If we could get a bunch of people playing it the way that we're doing with Nerf, it could be really, really fun. It's just that we have such a strong Nerf community where we are right now, and not to say that we'd say no to having Tech Recon stuff at Nerf. Games.
We're okay with Zing stuff.
Exactly. It's just finding some of that ammo is going to be really a lot more difficult than picking up darts.
Yeah.
We've tried doing other things too. Like we have laser tag stuff, and we haven't really been able to get a huge laser tag scene going. But it could be really fun. And the fact that with Nerf now saying that they're going to have more rail integration for phones, and if you have the Tech Recon app, dude, you can cross-contaminate as much as you want, and that sounds awesome to me.
Yeah. No, I agree on that level. There's no reason you couldn't just slap a phone onto a Nerf blaster and go that route. Mm-hmm. It's exciting. It's exciting technology. So it's not even necessarily that the blaster is going to be amazing. I donate to the Kickstarter if you support the idea of the app.
Yeah.
Just because I want the market to say, look at this app, it's cool, and it's a free app. So downloading it doesn't do them any good. Like, it shows interest, but in the end, money's still money.
Yeah, totally.
It'll help them get backers, but definitely check them out. They're on Kickstarter. They have some great packages to go with. I got I think it's called the Squad Leader Pack. It comes with I want to say 4 or 6 blasters. Don't quote me on this. 2 of the scannable flags and 4 exploding targets that explode when anything hit them. So I can use that for Nerf if I want to.
Yeah. See, also because I'm about to be moving, still in the Bay Area, but just moving, so funds have been kind of low for me. But I was thinking about picking up that same package because we might just be able to get stuff going if we have enough extra blasters. I mean, that's what we do with Nerf.
That's how that started out.
You know, loaning things out, and the fact that they do have other stuff you can buy looks really cool. You know, like the flags. You were saying scannable flags is a really friggin' awesome idea. I would love to see them come out with accessories, since that's obviously something that Nerf has done well, but hasn't done well in the fact that you can't buy them individually. And if Tech Recon started doing stuff like that, they might just, you know, be a huge contender.
Well, that's what I like too. So far, at least with the Kickstarter, the Tech Recon people have been very respondable to ideas, suggestions. Mm-hmm. People are throwing ideas out there. It's like, yeah, you know what? We're coming out with a line in 2014, so if this goes well enough, we can start integrating these new ideas. Hasbro obviously has a set business model that works for them. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, whatever decisions they're making, I'm sure there is some logic or reason behind it.
Mm-hmm. But I just like that Tech Recon has been, obviously because they're doing a Kickstarter and things like that, they're very vocal with the community and they're very responsive. Hasbro is still somewhat responsive, but less so with necessarily, give us your ideas, we love your modding ideas, and then, you know, suddenly you'll end up with something like the Strife. They're not like, oh, thanks for you know, submitting that, that's a really good idea, whereas you're getting that a little bit more of the customer interaction with the company, just because Tech Recon is still small. They have videos that they're coming out with and updates on the products that you're getting. Don't know if they'll continue to be like that, but it seems like if they do, that'll really help them out.
Yeah, it's one of their edges. They're a small, new emerging business that has the ability to adjust before they come out with a finalized product. Mm-hmm. Hasbro has shown that they're able to do this too, but with a company their size, the scale they're trying to work with, and the consumer expectation, it's difficult to be agile when you're a big company.
Definitely.
It's one of the hardest things to do because you have to try and make everybody happy. You can't alienate your customer base because once they're gone, they're hard to win back over. Since Tech Recon is building it up, they can kind of cater to where they need to cater. Mm-hmm. They're in a more flexible position.
Yeah. They're, honestly, like I said, I'm fairly excited about them. Like I said, my ammo thing, I really want to see it myself. I think that'll really turn the tables and really turn people onto it. But I think they've done everything right as far as a company, because you're looking at other people who have brought other things out, like, the little paintball things they have for kids, not full paintball guns, but like mini paintball guns that are really cheap, or even some of the like exploders lines and things like that you know, don't have triggers. They do have a large ammo capacity and they're safe with disposable ammo. That's cheaper than Nerf, but then there are a lot of things they didn't do right. They seem to have taken all the ideas that Nerf was like, oh, we're doing that well. Let's do that, but make it different. Because that's what it seems like Exploders and a lot of other lines we're trying to do, is let's just make something different that's not foam related, so we don't have to compete with Nerf like Airzone or Buzzbee or anybody like that is trying to do, and be, you know, second, third, fourth best because of that. Let's just create our own market. But they never were able to really, you know, get things running. I think Tech Recon really has a shot at it with, they have, you know, triggers, they have magazines, interesting technology.
Slam fire capability, long range capability. They have a lot of support from a lot of big magazines and publications too. Mm-hmm. If you want, My Last Start even has an interview with the Tech Recon folks where they go more in detail about this. So swing over to his website, check it out. It's definitely worth a read. These guys... my attitude is I want to be like Bill Gates. I just want to throw money at new ideas just to see what it'll do and create a more competitive market.
There we go.
Except I don't have a wife.
Or money.
I have money. I have enough to give $70 to a startup company.
That's true.
Honestly, that's the price of like a video game almost. So for me, even if it's one afternoon of enjoyment, it's worth it.
Yeah.
But obviously not everyone's in the same shape. I mean, $70 is a lot of ramen.
Yes.
And a lot of blood pressure. Believe it. Kaji Bushi no Jitsu.
We came from an anime convention. I'm pretty sure lots of people would have hurt you for saying that.
Ah, kawaii. Oni-chan. I have angered many people today.
Yep, there goes half of our listeners.
I regret nothing. But yeah, those are the two main theories I kind of have. Either America isn't a priority anymore, which from business sense, I can't really hate on Hasbro for that. They need to go where the money is. I mean, we are at least in the North America region, we're a recovering economy. We need to grow while we can grow and get big again. Asia Pac is emerging, making a lot of money, so why not sell over there, you know? I mean, I can get into all sorts of stuff I read about online about, like, is Asia Pac heading for a recession? Is China in a good place right now? Or are they prone for a recession similar to what we went through? I mean, that's all up in the air. I can't predict that stuff. But from what I can see right now and from what I've seen in the short term, it's a logical decision.
Yeah, at the same point in time, you know, if there's already going to be leaks at Nerf's factories in Asia, why not just allow it to be there first anyway? It saves them a lot of time and money trying to cover up everything that, you know, somebody with a camera phone decides to record.
Plus the bad press you got. Like, look at what happened to Pocket over at Urban Taggers. Yeah. He, what was it, like 2 years ago now?
Oh, yeah.
When, what was even leaked? It was pictures of something.
Honestly, I don't even remember at this point.
It was really cool. I'm sure he remembers it very vividly.
I'm very sure he remembers. But this, again, is just Hasbro acting so differently in different locations. Because apparently in the UK, they seem like they're just like, yeah, you know, whatever, we'll talk to you. We'll give you we'll let you play with some of our stuff and do this and that. And then other markets, they're really, no, we can't confirm or deny anything. What is the Alpha Trooper going to come out? No, there's no blaster. There's no planned release date for that yet. Like, well, I own one. Well, we don't have plans for it to hit the... Really?
I love that your Hasbro voice is kind of like the Emperor voice from Star Wars. Good. Let the darts flow.
They are blue like his lightning.
Join my side and we shall rule the toy game. Yes, I have lightning powers, and Hasbro has the rights to make some of my toys.
It's funny because every time I think of the Emperor now, I just equate his voice to the Robot Chicken voice. Same with Boba Fett.
Which is Seth MacFarlane.
Yes, I know. Voices for parodies of actual things have started to become the voices that I imagine when you talk about characters.
That's what happened with me in Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
That's because those are the voices.
Those are the voices now.
That's how they should all sound. They're all correct.
I really hope, because I know I spend a lot of time on YouTube, but if you like Dragon Ball Z at all, or like to laugh, check out Dragon Ball Z Abridged by Team 4-Star. They are some of the funniest people I've seen online who do not make any money from it. Because if they do, then they get shut down by Fuji TV and Nakira Toriyama.
Yes.
His name is not Nakira, by the way, but the way they do it so quickly, it's Akira Toriyama, but they and Akira Toriyama.
Yes. DBZ Abridged.
Yes.
Funny stuff.
Great stuff.
Nerf Abridged.
Kyle, what? Vegeta, why? Because I'm a monkey. Oh no, I'm not a monkey. Oh no, the kid's a monkey. Destructo Disc.
The hell?
Josh censored himself.
Yeah.
They use the F word.
Yeah,
and
they do.
Frankly, it is not fit for your headphones.
Yeah.
I used a lot of PHF sounds in that sentence.
You did.
I was phonetic, which is another PF.
PF?
Yes.
Changs. I'm hungry.
I know. Me too. We are getting off topic very quickly, by the way. We are still tired from this convention earlier. Yeah. There was a hot tub. There was singing.
Machine.
There was singing with 23 other people. Mulan songs.
Yeah, good times.
There was some alcohol. I may have gone too far in a few places.
Thank you, George. Thank you.
I showed you that clip.
You did.
But yeah, those are kind of my theories that I've been kind of thinking about with Hasbro, that I feel like what they've been doing, there's no way it can just be random. There has to be a group of people either trying to figure out how to make this work, do damage control, or it's kind of not intentional, but kind of like let what the market do and just try and embrace it as much as you can, which is the best thing you can do in this situation. If you try and, for example, an example I love dropping is, I think it was like a month ago or so, it might have been longer, Burger King's Twitter was hacked. Someone was posting obscene comments on the Twitter, and when Burger King regained their access to their Twitter, they didn't try and deny it or hide it. They apologized, they poked fun at it. They changed some of the updates to be like, hey, here's basically the same update, but instead we're going to put our own spin on it, and here's some free coupons for food. And it was a wonderful idea just because of all the goofiness and randomness happening on the Burger King Twitter when it got hacked. Everyone was looking to it and saying, look at it. Oh, I gotta follow. I couldn't remember the right word for Twitter. Yeah, I got to follow this on Twitter just to see the hilarity. And Burger King's like, oh, we got a bunch of followers from this. Guys, but let's do some marketing right now. And they did, and it worked out really well. Their sales went up from that. So now everyone kind of dreams about getting fake hacked or doing Twitter switches where something zany happens that people start following just to see the zaniness. Hasbro, I feel like maybe they're trying to do the same thing. It's like, look, leaks are going to come. They come from this region. Just release it over there. Just let it happen. Let's make some money off of this.
Yeah.
And honestly, from what I've seen, there aren't a lot of in-depth reviews coming out of Asia Pac besides SG Nerf, besides Urban Taggers, besides all the bloggers out there. The general community, like from what you see on Baidu, it's just a random dude or some kids with the blaster kind of showing it off and whetting our palate but not giving enough analysis for us to make a decision one way or the other.
Or they are, and they're just speaking a language we don't understand.
I guess. Thank God everyone's going to learn English. Am I right, guys? Oh, God. I checked my privilege, and it's working.
But yeah, I
No, tell me, Josh.
That you are potentially right.
That's not me breathing. That's Josh.
Damn, he's lying.
That was also Josh speaking into the mic. Or was it? It's actually no Josh. It's just me in a room by myself.
He's going to listen to the podcast later. There's no Josh part. It's just Shawn having a conversation and then thinking that someone's talking back to him, and everybody else that are subscribers are like, this guy's hilarious. He has conversations about Nerf with no one.
This is getting too real for me right now.
Oh.
But yeah, that's kind of what I think. A lot of exciting news came out this week. Definitely check out the blogosphere just to see what's being posted. Centurion's going to be out soon. Rapid Strike's already out in some markets. Expected here in the U.S. Like I said, my figure is always, I think has always been, at least for this release, Midsummer. That's what I'm going to call it out right now. Come back, listen to this podcast later, see if I'm right. If I'm right, I'm going to let you all know, by the way. But that's kind of my prediction, that Hasbro has this model that they saw work in the past, accidentally, and they're trying to embrace it a little bit and just work with it. That would make the most sense on why they're not addressing stuff, why they're not prosecuting people, why even we were posting leaked pictures of the Rapid Strike and we never even got contacted by Hasbro.
Nope.
And it might be because we're not a huge site, but I mean, if the content's getting out there, you figure they want to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And I'm sure Hasbro has a reason for not releasing anything first in the U.S.
I'm not going to complain about not getting cease and desist orders.
There we go.
That is my belief. Okay, so just a couple quick notes before we wrap it up. Once again, we're having a contest going on for you can win a free Alpha Trooper Elite. All you have to do is send us an email that says Alpha Trooper Contest.
Yes, Alpha Trooper contest.
I was looking at Josh because I really don't want to mess it up. Because we
Spelled
have gotten
like
people...
Alpha Trooper.
Some people have been emailing us again because they mess up the titles. And we appreciate that. That does help your chances of actually getting caught when we do the contest and the raffle to win the free Alpha Trooper.
Mm-hmm.
The main condition still stands, though. We have to get to 100 likes on Facebook before we'll give it away.
I know we're at 69 now, and you all think that it's really cool if you leave it there.
Some guy ruined it already. It's 70.
Awesome. Now that we've passed that hurdle that none of you all wanted to cross except for that one guy, we can continue on the road towards 100.
Yeah. Just tell your friends, like us, write us an email. If they listen to just a couple minutes and hear something they like about the podcast, I mean, that's cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're easy to please.
Yeah, just let us know what you like in general. We want to give these away. We have enough to give away. It's not an issue. We'll probably do another contest once this one finishes up too, and who knows, it might be an easier condition to get to the prize.
Yeah, I mean, this one, we're just trying to get out there, and, we've got a lot of great response back already. I was really surprised that last time we announced it, or was the time before this?
It was last time.
Yeah, that's, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks, 20 likes?
Yeah. Oh, more than that, I think. I mean, we got a significant number. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to put any... I'm not going to let you finish, Shawn, but our fans are the greatest fans.
Of all time.
Yep.
But yeah, I want to thank you guys. It's been a great effort so far on your part. We appreciate it. We take notice. We love any feedback we can get from you guys. That's always the one thing I stress. I love hearing from you guys. We'll try and be better about responding too. Like, I'm trying to make more of an effort of that. Just honestly, it's been swamped these past couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's been a pretty crazy month, and ever since we started doing Nerfcast, we weren't really certain what the fan response was going to be. So we are really more than happy to have people, interacting with us. We will get better about replying to things, so feel free to leave comments. We will get back to you. In fact, I think we've backtracked and replied to most comments that were asking us questions or saying something that, we wanted to reply to. If it was just, hey, you guys are cool, then thank you. We didn't reply because we didn't feel like making it look like we had 30 comments when there were just like 2 people that said, you're awesome. But, yeah, we appreciate everything, and we're just glad that you guys enjoy us, and we just want to bring Nerf, the community, together, and it's a big Nerfy hug.
And then one last note, I think, on my part. Locally, I did a mega post for all the events that are going on for Nerf Wars in the area.
Yeah.
Expect one within the next couple of days, too. I'll be doing another one for the Bay Area specifically.
Yeah. If you want to be on that and you are not, please let us know. Make us aware of your games or your group or anything like that. And if you would like access to our calendar and you're in the Bay Area and would like to put up your, Nerf Wars, we can give you access to it so that you can edit it and change your games. Because we do know that sometimes dates change and things happen. So we don't always catch it in time because it's just me and Shawn. And if you're the one creating the event,
Yeah, you'll always take more ownership of your event. If you aren't, then you deserve what comes to you.
Yeah, and if you don't tell people that you change locations and you change locations, only half the people show up, that's your fault. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll try my best. I usually troll around on Facebook a little bit, see what I can... That's not the right word. It's a correct word, but not for internet culture. I look around on Facebook to see what's going on. That's usually my primary way of doing that. I also go on Meet Me to look people up as well. It's just way easier if I'm not including your event on there, just to reach out, send us an email, bayareanerf@gmail.com. Let us know about the event. We'll add it on there.
Yeah, we're definitely not excluding you for any weird reason or we don't like anybody. It's just for some reason you haven't popped up on our radar or we didn't see it or maybe we even just forgot. Let us know. We'll throw it up on there. Like we said, we'd be more than happy to give you access so that you can put it up yourself and put up any events that you want to. So, yeah, it's just another way for you to get more people if you would like to have your event open to the public and are looking for somewhere else for people to remember your event date.
Definitely. Any final thoughts, Josh?
Nerf is cool.
Nerf is great.
Yeah. Nerf is good.
Nerf is great.
Yeah.
I want to play in outer space. Make my darts float through the sky and make me wonder just why I wouldn't play with Nerf, except why is there competition that is so darn fly? I'm rhyming fly a lot with fly. Tech Recon, Zing Bows, Buzzbee, all those stupid. It's getting a little rap.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's going to be remixed somewhere on YouTube.
No, it's not.
And it will be sad. Oh, I'm going to submit you.
To the remix community?
Yeah.
Just track down anyone who's done a Game Grumps remix who likes Nerf. We'll get something.
Yeah, that works. I was, going to go to Songify this, but...
Oh, that's easy. I'll Songify myself. Okay, we're done. Everyone take care. Happy foam flinging.
Yeah! All right. Play us out. Music Man. Boop boo doo boop boo do 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 do.
It's gonna sound horrible. The music's going over. Just stop, Josh. I'm sorry. It's okay. I love you.
Eject.
Never forget.